Hi guys, welcome to Techogenius Academy. We are de-industry-led training providers for those who wants to build their career in data science, analysis, IoT, device driver, embedded Linux and many more. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.
Hello everyone, this is Vidit Mathur. In my previous video, I talked about prerequisites that are required for before installation of Elasticsearch. In this video, we'll continue our session on Elasticsearch installation. So now my Java JVM installation is done, Java home is set. What's the next step? My next step is installation of Elasticsearch. So the 2 points that I need to handle, one was like it should not be like uh, ES should not with root ID, that is handled. We are using elk ID here. Okay, and second is JVM configuration. So both my steps are done now. So we are good enough to proceed with Elastic installation. Okay, now just before installing Elasticsearch, I want you to you can say I want to discuss a bit more on the kind of package that you can use, or the kind of package and how it's different. Okay, so different kind of packages are available. Now here all my links will come into use. I have this download link. If you go over here, if you click on download, you will find all of these are available for configuration. For Windows, you have Elastic Windows Setup, Mac Setup, Linux Setup, Debian is there, RPM is there. MSI is another setup which is in beta version for it for Windows only, I guess. I have not tested it out yet. So all of these are already available. So once you click on there, it will get downloaded. So there are two ways. One is either you can go to this particular link, you can save it, and then you can move this package to your particular server. Or another way is you can directly you can directly run curl command on your servers, and you can say directly download it on your machine itself, on your node itself. Okay, so I'll be running this commands. It's the difference it makes, like, okay, at many a times internet is not available for all of your servers. Okay, so at many point you might find difficulty in running these commands. Okay, so at that point of time, it's better that you directly download it from here and then move these packages to your particular servers where you want to install Elasticsearch. Okay, so now my next thing is installation part. The way, or the thing which I wanted to discuss, is installation, you can say, setup, how these are different and how it actually varies. Now there are two, basically, if you name it, then there are two, you can say, different installation setup. One is two I should write two types. Okay, one is archival or archive. Okay, so what are the package that comes under this archive? So it packet tar.gz or packet name with extension zip. So these two are known as archive distribution. Okay, so the in this archive distribution, you only have to untar or unzip these setup. That's it. Now second one is package distribution. Package distribution, these are your Debian or RPM. Now, one thing which you observe with Debian or RPM, there's way of installing on installation, like installation for these particular Debian package. Like you have to install it. There are certain commands that you have to run for installation purpose. Now, how these two are different? First is with archive, wherever, like to whichever folders. Like suppose if I move to /opt, And if I untar or unzip this particular archive setup, then it will be installed under OPT itself. That's the one thing. Like, okay, if I move to slash home, here in our case, we'll be running it in slash home slash help. So this will become my folder for installation. Okay, but this is not the case with package. If I install any Debian or RPM package, then firstly, it will be getting installed in etc elasticsearch. It will be getting installed as in etc elasticsearch. This is fixed for it. Apart from that, services like elastic dot service, this will be configured automatically. We don't have to configure this service. So this is the main difference. In this here, we have to configure that service. Now, how we will be doing that, we'll show it to you, but we'll discuss further on this. But this is the main difference between these two type of setup. One is archive setup, that is .tar, .gz or zip. We have to only untar or unzip these setup. Whatever folder we select, it will get installed over there. If we select opt, it will select over there. If we select home or any particular user, it will select get installed over there. Whatever we give, it will install over there. With package distribution, it comes as a whole and sole package. It has set configuration directly, like, okay, I have this particular configuration. It will be in under etc slash elasticsearch. Elasticsearch service will get configured automatically through it. We don't have to be, yeah, obviously we you might have to play around with that elastic.service. You might want to add some more setup over there, but overall it will be available over there. Okay, so that's the main difference. Right now what I'm doing, I'll be installing the star.gz. So let's go ahead with it. I am with elk. Now my path directory should be cd home elk. Okay, pwd. Okay, my directory is home elk. Here I will be installing this all my elastic services. So I ran this curl command. Let's see what is that. Okay, my elastic setup 781 is available over here. Let's untar it. Command for untarring is -xvf elasticsearch. This is done. So my elastic setup is available now. Okay. Next command is configuration files and setting. This is very crucial. Okay. Now before proceeding with it, let me show you its folder structure. So here, bin, configuration, JDK, library, logs, modules, everything is available over here. If you go into bin, then you will see these are different utilities which are available. For each of this I'll be covering. I'll try to cover most of it in upcoming sessions, not in this session, but I'll show it to you, like how many of these are very much important and crucial, and how these will be utilized and used in our you can say Elasticsearch. Okay, so this is my environment. If I go to config folder, this is my elasticsearch.yaml, where all necessary configuration related to Elasticsearch will be configured. JVM options, log42.properties. This is for configuration, like configuring our logging management. Okay, role mapping, roles, users underscore roles. So these will be coming up into pictures once you are playing with user authentication. Then four of these will be coming into picture. As of now, for us, these three are quite important and crucial: elasticsearch.yaml, jvm.options, and log42j.properties. Now on that part, in mostly in log42j, like suppose if I run, okay, so most of this we won't be playing around until unless it's not recommended by Elastic support team for their own analysis purpose for you raising certain cases. I would suggest not to play around with it. Let it be the way it is working. Okay. So if maximum the thing that like the at max what you want to change is, suppose here it's error. So this you might want to change to info or debug. But yeah, be careful. If you turn it to debug, hell lot of logs will be appearing over there. In within a short span of time, lot many logs will get generated. Again, this is info, so you need to change it to debug. So as per your requirement and need, you actually need to play around with it. So it's hardly like rare of the rare chances there that you will be playing around with it. So now my next option is JVM options. This is my next configuration file. This is very crucial. See, as per by default, most of the time I have not seen changing all of these values. These are good enough to handle all, you can say, JVM related, you can say, configuration, handling JVM related configurations. One thing that will vary as per your environment and as per your requirement, as per your server type, is XMS and XMX. So now what is this XMS and XMX? So XMS means, like, suppose if I want to start my service, I am starting my service. So at that time, what is the heap size that should be utilized? So heap size that should be utilized is XMS. Whatever value I give, minimum heap size. So this will be my minimum heap size that will be utilized. Now, what is the maximum size that it will utilize in heap? So that will be XMX. Okay. Now here we keep it as same. Here I'm keeping it 1 GB comes by default. It depends on your server type. Like suppose if your server has 64 GB of RAM, then maximum you can exceed it till 31.99. I should say 31 itself. So keep it 31. Okay. Right now 1 GB is sufficient for me as per my like testing purpose, or as per my particular node type. I'm leaving it as it is, but you can change it as per your requirements. Okay. Now I'm keeping it as it is. Next comes elasticsearch.yaml file. This is very important file. We will be playing around this file most of the time. Okay. Now here in the starting, all of these are hashed out. You have to place and enable those settings as per your configuration. Okay, so let me enable few of the services, and then we'll restart our service and then see like what all more services I need to, or what all more commands I need to place it over here. So my first thing is, I'll enable this cluster name. This is my cluster name. Remember it. Like suppose I have one node. This is my one node cluster. So okay, so whatever name I'm giving here, I'm giving my application. Now suppose you add one more node, then its cluster name should be same if you want to add it to this particular one node cluster. The moment this cluster name is different, it will not add it in that particular cluster. Now suppose I have three node cluster, name is suppose observe. Okay. Now I want to add one more node here, then that cluster name should remain observe only. If you place any other cluster name, it will not add to this three node cluster. So this cluster name is very important in configuring, you can say, or adding more and more nodes. So cluster name is the one which I'll enable. Node name. For node name, I will always suggest it to keep unique. Keep unique. Okay. Now my node name is node 1. Suppose if I install another, like I install another server, I'll configure Elasticsearch. Now there itself, by default, suppose you made a mistake and you forgot to change its name, and there also it's node 1. This server will come up. There's no point on that server will come up, but there are many things which you won't be able to configure, or you can say configure or at these node level. Suppose if I want to distribute a hot, warm, and cold architecture, based upon this, you won't be able to first of all determine that okay, what hot name is being, what node name is being referred as hot node, what node name is referred as cold node. I'll tell you this concept of hot warm node in upcoming time itself, in today's session only. But node name should be unique. It should not be same at all. You will face many challenges upcoming with it. So what my suggestion is, make this node name as node and place IP of your machine. that will make it a unique one. So I'm placing this as 31.8.9. So this is my with IP will be always unique in your environment. So this is my unique IP address. Okay. Third come is node attribute. Node attribute I'll show it later on, because there are many things that will be getting covered over here. Path.data. Now suppose on a single like path data, I want to give that, okay, this is my server. I have a particular, you can say, external drive or mount point configured for it, and I want to give that path over here. Like, okay, I want to store, like suppose here itself, I want to store my data in OPT. Okay, so it will store my data in OPT by default. Path.data, like suppose if you don't give any path.data, then path.data is, I'll show you the default value for it. This is default value for it. Var data Elasticsearch. Okay, so this will remain like if I don't place, if I right now, if suppose I hash it out, then these are the values that will be placed for it: var log Elasticsearch and var log data. So all my logs will be getting stored over here, and data will be getting stored over here. Okay, you can, this is one thing which you will be changing it, because you don't want like your particular Elasticsearch to store data on your like on your root volume itself. All of these are basically root volumes, and root volume you cannot extend it after a certain limit. Okay, so that's the reason you will be placing mount point, and you will be mapping those mount points in this path.data. So right now I'm keeping it default because I don't have any mount point. It doesn't make sense to change it, but I can change it as per my convenience. Okay, next is bootstrap memory log. This bootstrap memory log is very important in, you can say, utilizing JVM heap size. It's quite important. It plays an important role over here. Okay, now suppose let's search for it. Like, what does it actually gives? If you see here, it is most operating system. Basically, it's related to memory management by default. If you can read more about it, the reason I didn't place or attach it in my, you can say, slide is you must read about it. Like, okay, what exactly is swapping? Why we are doing that? So, as per recommendation, most of the time in most of the environment where I work, I found this to be true. So, I suggest place it at true itself. Okay, one important factor is Elasticsearch always suggests, like suppose your particular server has 64 GB of RAM, then maximum place half of the memory to heap size. Okay, like I have 64 GB, I will give heap size up to 32. I have 32 GB of RAM available, I will maximum I'll give 16 GB of RAM to heap size. So accordingly, make it half of it. Okay, next comes network. Network by default, here you can mention your particular IP. I'll give my node IP over here. This value changes. This value changes again. This value changes when it changes if you are using AWS or GCE. I have certain in one of my next slide, I'll be showing this particular difference, like how it changes and what all necessary configurations need to be placed if you are using AWS or a GCE environment. Now I am placing it as an array. Why I'm placing it as an array? I'll add local host as well. Okay, so that my network.host is available at both IP as well as if I run localhost. Okay, port by default port is 9200. Okay, default port for Elasticsearch is, okay, one more port is there that is not like it's configurable, that is port number 93. This is for internal ES communication. Like you have multi-node cluster, then 9300 is the port that is being utilized for internal ES communication. Okay, so right now these are by default, but you can change it as per your environment. Okay, so right now I'm keeping it like this. If I didn't uncomment it, that's okay, because by default it will take 9200 itself. Discovery is another thing which is quite important. Now basically the discovery is helpful in providing, you can say, like suppose I have multiple node over here, so I can place all those node entry over here. Like, okay, this is my particular nodes that should be discovered by this particular environment. Now here this node name will be used by us. Okay, where it will be used, I'll show it to you. One important configuration that is required once you can say set up your ES brand new cluster is cluster initial master nodes. This is most important settings. If you don't place it, then your service will not, like, one node will be up, but if you want to connect more and more node, it won't be coming up. This need to be placed over here. What is master node? I'll tell you in few minutes itself, like what is this cluster master node. Okay, but this is the value. Like I have one node cluster, so I'm keeping the same IP and I'm placing it over here. So once my service will start, it will have its own master node. That okay, it will be already, this value is already given, that okay, if I start my service, then it doesn't have to search for any other master. This same node will act as master for it. Okay, apart from that gateway recover and all those settings are there are multiple more settings. These are few settings which is given. There are multiple more settings that I'll be highlighting, or I will be showcasing it to you in upcoming sessions, because there are many settings that we have to play around, or you can play around. Okay, these are initial settings. Okay, so right now let me do one thing. Let me save this. Okay, so what all settings are there that I basically configured? My cluster name, node name, bootstrap memory lock true, network host, where I gave IP of my existing server, cluster initial master. That's it. Okay, now what's the next step? Let's start our Elasticsearch. Okay, let's start our Elasticsearch. So first of all, I can directly start it by bin/elastic. My current folder is elastic folder, so I can directly go bin/elastic. Okay, let's start and see. So what it is saying, that it's not set, could not found it in this way. Let's see what's the problem. Okay, I think I got it. This value is getting checked up. That's the reason it is showing it. Okay, so let me go to this etc environment. Basically issue over here was there was one extra space, so I'm removing it, and then let me save it again. Okay, now sourcing is done. I have to take another session. I am taking another session because only in next session onwards it will reflect. Okay, so now here I'll move to elk, cd home, elk, elastic. Let's start our service now. Let's see if it properly gets starts or if some issue is coming up. Okay. Okay, so my node got started. Here if you see node got started, this means my service is running fine. Let's check one thing. Let's run some curl command to check it. Okay, let me run curl -x get localhost colon 9200. Okay, so it is giving me the status, my name, node name which I place, name is this, cluster name is this, my application which I already gave, version is 781, and these are another thing like Lucene, what is the Lucene version, and all those details are mentioned over here. Okay, this means my service is perfectly up. Now I want to run it at the background. So let's see what all options are there with us, which with which we can use it. Okay, now let's run help and see what all options are there. So here is saying that okay, starts Elastic in the background. If I run it with /d, it will start in the background. If I want to check my version, let's check version as well. Here my version is 781. That's fine. Other options are mentioned over there as per your requirement. You can do that. Let's start it as a service, as a daemon. Okay, Elastic -d. That's it, it ran it. Okay, so now if you want to check its like what all like its particular log file entry, you can check if its service is up or not in this way: var log elastics. Let's see if any folder got created or not. It didn't got created. I think it will, we have to create one folder by default for it. Okay, no problem. Let's see if my curl command is working or not. Oh, it's working. This means my service is running as a daemon now. One more way of checking it is ps-ef grep elastic. Again, it's up and running. Okay, let's play around one or two more curl commands and see what all values we get. Curl -x get local host. See, there's a reason why local host is giving me output, because in my network host entry I gave IP as well as this local host. That's the reason. Let's change this local host to IP 172.31.8.9 and see if it works with this as well or not. Yes, it works because we provided it over there. Okay, so this is working fine for us. Let's run, give some more thing like cluster health. It's a command that like these are basically curl command that will be often used. I'll take a session entirely on these curl commands and these cluster health and all those sort of things which we will be playing around. Okay, let me make it, it's not properly arranged, so let me add pretty. Okay, so my cluster is my application, status is green, time dot false, fine, number of node is 1, data node is 1, shards I'll take it like I'll also explain more on these parts, but right now this means my service is up, great status. Let's run one more command. Let's see some more node detail there. Okay, I'll make it verbose as well. Okay, IP is here. What is the heap percent that is being used? RAM percent being used. CPU utilization. Load for past 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. Node role. It is showing DILMRT. So what is this actually? DILMRT. I'll explain it to you. Master star. So in suppose in my multi-node cluster, if I have multiple master nodes, if I have then out of all those master node only one will be in active state and other master nodes will be passive. Okay, and current master node will have star next to it. the way it is showing over here. This means it's my active master node. What is this? What are these node roles? Okay, DILMRT. So basically DILMRT, if you talk about it, DILMRT. So basically D stands for data, I stands for ingest, L stands for, this is related to machine learning actually, ML, machine learning. This is master. This is my remote cross cluster node, and this is my transform node. So all of these are different use. As of now, the most commonly used are MDI, because machine learning, all these, like by default there are certain only limited machine learning scope which are available in basic version. Apart from that, if you completely want to utilize machine learning, then you have to purchase license for it. Only then all of these will be available. Now I'll discuss more on this in upcoming session. By default, if you like how you say how to enable or disable it, by default all of these roles are in enable state. You only have to disable it. How you can disable it? You have to go to elasticsearch.yaml, and as per your requirement, as per you can say your need, you can disable it. Like, okay, if you need it specifically to be ingest node or data node, you can disable other you can say node roles. Okay, so that's all for today. My service is up and running. I'm able to see different nodes which are available with different role. In upcoming session, I will discuss about these node roles and more on elasticsearch.yaml. Now, one more thing, one last topic which I almost forgot, which I need to mention it to you, like settings which are in context to AWS or GCE. Now, one good luck with us is that currently the server which I am using is on AWS. So what all difference it makes, okay, and how it makes. So if I want to utilize AWS related setting, then my first thing is I have to run this plugin. I have to install this discovery plugin. So let's do that. Okay, sudo bin elastic hyphen plugin. Now what I want to install, plugin name is discovery EC2. This is my plugin name. Okay, install discovery hyphen EC2. So my plugin is installed. How you want to check it? Instead of install, just run list discovery EC2. Okay, now let's stop this elastic service once. It stopped. Okay, let's change as my elasticsearch.yaml setting as per AWS. Now here, what all things I did network host. So instead of network hosts, now let's see the setting. Instead of network host, I can place underscore EC2 as well. Okay, underscore EC2. So let's place that. I am removing this IP. Let's see what happens if I remove this IP. Okay, and I am placing this underscore local. Underscore local is for specifically for local host. So I am placing this as well. Okay, this is my one setting. Another setting is discovery related setting. Like it will be helpful if you have multiple, you can say node cluster. Only then, just because it's one node cluster, I'm not placing it. But with multi-node cluster, you need to place all of these settings. Endpoint, what is the endpoint that you are using? EC2 particular, you can say endpoint is US West, whatever zone you are placing. Then EC2 discovery, it's helpful, like it's basically taking out tag value which shows up with these the different servers in AWS console. Okay, so I am placing it like I have a tag elk. I'll show it to you in instance. This is my server on tag. Here, suppose I place elk. Okay, so it's the same thing. I am placing a tag name elk EC2 discovery, so that how this will be, this setting will be helpful. This setting will be helpful. Suppose I have 10 servers over here, and I have two elastic, you can say two elastic cluster which are available over here. So how you can bifurcate it? You can bifurcate it using this particular tag. So it will take that tag value, and only it will allow those with same tag to merge in a single cluster. Availability zone, what all availability zone it should be considering? So US West 2A, US West 2B. EC2 host type, what host type it should be considering? So it will consider private IP for it. Okay, so now I place this network host. Let me save its value. Wait, I placed it twice. Okay, let's start its service and let's see what's the behavior right now. My node got started. This means my EC2 discovery plugin properly worked. Let's run some curl command again. -xcat. Firstly, run localhost. Okay, it's giving value. Perfect. Now I am giving. It's working fine. This means my EC2 discovery setting is properly working fine. I didn't place any IP over there. I placed underscore EC, EC2 and underscore local. It's properly giving me output. This means my installation of EC2 is properly working. And like you can place this setting in your other nodes on the similar way. Similarly for GCE, you have to install discovery GCE plugin using this command, and then on similar line to this, like these settings are meant are to run, like you can say, meant for AWS. On similar line, these settings are meant for GCE, like cloud GCE project ID. What project ID is mentioned in your GCE for that particular server? What is that GCE zone? What is that seed provider? Seed provider, it's not necessary that you will be requiring, because you have already installed discovery GCE. Okay, Zen host provider, again GCE. Environment tag, on similar line to this, you can use these environment tag. Okay, so hope this session was quite clear for you guys. Just let me know in case you have more doubts or query regarding these, and that's all for today. We will continue further on Elastic Stack in upcoming videos. Please like, comment, share and follow Techo Genius for more videos and updates. Thanks everyone.